So contrast is shit that we don't like, and it's pretty much inherent with the earthbound plane. Just shit that you don't like. Sometimes it's a situation, could be a relationship, could be a job, could be money, one of the things that we care about, and it just don't look how we want it to look. How do we deal with this shit? This is perhaps the most necessary topic because it's really easy to feel good when everything's good. It's just a little bit more difficult to feel good when there's a lot of things going good and a lot of things going bad. It's just well within our right to focus on the things that give us the strength to keep going. So gratitude and all that, we want to see it and revise it, right? We want to see it and then revise it. That's what Neville will be talking about, revising, and just revising the idea, as something that you don't like into something that you do like. That way you have that thought mold for the universe to go ahead and fill that shit in. And then, trust that your inner being has the path to the desire. That's Brian Withers right there, of course. Some little bit of Abraham in it, but it's the inner being, the one that you are creating alongside of, and has a way to make sure that you get all of your desires along a joyous path. You know what I'm saying? It'd just be a lot of things, not a lot, but from time to time things come up that you just really don't like. You just really don't want, like a cockroach that you got to step on. You want to reframe it as for you. You want to reframe it as happening for you. And then move on to the next win. Move on to the next win. Stay in motion to that next thing that you can do that will help you push forward. Keep positive self-talk and your actions in alignment with the direction that you want to go. And be grateful. That's from Wes Watson in one of his interviews. Positive self-talk, actions in alignment with the direction you want to go, and be grateful. Contrast, like what Abraham be talking about, Brian Withers be talking about. It's synonymous with adversity. I think contrast and adversity are pretty closely related. And again, that they're just inherent with the earth. So it's like you being on earth just means that you're in the land, where, there is what you want, but there's also what you don't want. And this is about dealing with what you don't want when situations, look a certain way. We just got to remember that it's a universe of joyous expansion. Right? I'm going to say that a lot because the universe has us here to enjoy it, to enjoy our time on earth. And it's up to us to be able to be in the right mind state to receive that joyous expansion. And then your thoughts turn into experience. That's from the Master Key. It's a book. But yeah, pretty much one of the ideas from that book was that thought turns into experience. And then, Neville Goddard, I like the book, The Law and the Promise. One of the big ideas of that book is that imaginal acts held to unwaveringly become objective facts. So ideas that you can hold in your mind unwaveringly become objective facts. Embrace the mystery, Edward Art. That's something that he had said. He was talking about the mystery of imagination, and when you imagine something and believe it, and you don't know how it's going to come about, you just have to embrace the mystery. Also, your emotional state is affected by your self-talk on the vibrational scale. Like I talk about, like at the bottom of the scale, you got, fear, shame, guilt. And at the top, you got love, peace, joy, enlightenment. And, it's just our job to make sure that we keep our thoughts and keep our body and keep our mind, as close to those upper feeling states as possible. So this is just pretty much about how to handle contrast. You can see it with your physical eyes, but just don't believe it. See it, but don't believe it. And believe in your own thoughts and ideas instead. And have faith that the inner being, God, in the universe always finds a way for you, for me, for us, because we are human. And then take aligned action and have faith, And with that, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.